The long-awaited, long-dreaded Wolfgang character refresh arrives next week, everybody. December 16th. Not only that, though, we also have Winter's Feast to look forward to, a new Twitch drop, and even some more unreleased skins on the Clay Rewards page. And for most, the latter three things are going to be the only things that they're going to be caring about after they hear the details here today. Cause yes, everybody, let's just say the rework is kind of interesting and there's hot debate about it right now. So let's talk and let's read. Wolfgang has spent his life striving for ultimate strength, and despite the all too frequent frights the constant has thrown at him, it has also provided ample opportunities to put his muscles to the test. With a training regimen as challenging as the world itself, Wolfgang will prove just why he holds the title of the Incredible Strongman. Wolfgang's character refresh arrives next week, December 16th. And my goodness, what an intro. But while everyone is in very hot debate over the bullet points that are coming very soon here, this is what I care about. Wolfgang's lore and his legendary, yet still so mysterious circus. For those somewhat learned in the lore of Don't Starve as a whole, this little poster at the right here should look very familiar, as it comes from all them puzzles that Clay used to do back in the day, having to do with Maxwell himself, William Carter. Now we know that in his flight to avoid any debts that he needed to pay in England, William Carter, aka Maxwell, eventually found himself on a train to California. And this train would hit a traveling circus on the tracks, and afterwards, that's when William would find the codex and the rest is history. We have also speculated that that traveling circus in question was the one that Wolfgang himself was involved in. And guess what? That is now 110% confirmed with this picture right here. Now this is sounding crazy, especially after the recent animations that we have gotten, but this one might be one of the biggest ones yet, because two super main characters are about to collide in the real world, and it's gonna be absolutely glorious to witness. Wolfgang and William might show up in the same cinematic trailer, and it's not gonna be the Maxwell that we know. Oh, no. We might actually get to see William himself outside of just this picture. I myself am super excited for it. However, it is now time to talk about things that a lot of people don't seem all that excited for. Those being the details of the Wolfgang rework, everyone. Instead of being connected to his hunger, Wolfgang's forms are now controlled by a new might meter. Filling the might meter requires Wolfgang to work out using one of his new craftable items. The meter goes down over time, and the draining rate is determined by Wolfgang's hunger. The hungrier he is, the faster it goes down. So we've got ourselves another meter, you say, Clay? Alright then, it sounded like it might be something similar to the inspiration meter that Wigford got in her rework, everyone. And for the most part, it kinda sorta still sounds like it's gonna work darn near the same as it already did, just without hunger being like the main thing, even though it's the main thing. You know what I mean? Because if he's hungry, his mightiness is still gonna go down faster, which is already what happens right now with his hunger determining whether he is mighty or not. But this next bullet point might actually tell us more. Wolfgang's linear values are now constants. And what the heck does that mean, Beard? We're not in math class, I don't want to think that hard. Well, I'm pretty sure it means that his damage is going to remain constant whatever his mighty form is. So as long as he's in mighty form, he will be dealing his high damage until he reaches his normal form, and then he will maintain that normal damage until he reaches his wimpy form. It's not going to go down with every point of might and hunger like it once did. For example, when Wolfgang originally was at 100 hunger, he would have 200 health. But the moment he got to 98 hunger, as that hunger drained, his health would also drop a point to like 199, 198. You get the point. I don't think they're doing that anymore. They're going to keep everything constant. And I think people are somewhat missing how important that might be. You're going to be able to maintain high damage a lot easier now. Then again, that's just me. These are just bullet points. We won't know until we get our hands on it. But some of these other ones are a little more straightforward. Like this one. Wolfgang will now freeze and overheat faster when in wimpy form, but slower while in mighty. Alright then, I like that. He's got meat on his bones when he's mighty, so it makes total sense. Oh, but here's the one that we pretty much all thought was a guarantee. But it goes a little further beyond, and it gets really interesting actually. When mighty, Wolfgang can carry heavy items faster, but he will not lose might when carrying heavy objects. So here's what I'm thinking, folks. Depending on how much faster he will be carrying things, what if you, as Wolfgang, go all the way mighty and then pick up something and just start carrying it around to everywhere on the map? You're just constantly gonna be at high might that whole time. That said, it will again depend on the speed at which we carry these things and the speed at which the might meter drops. But it sounds like a pretty interesting method for any new Wolfgangs out there. But speaking of speed, here's something I was really thinking they wouldn't change all that much, even though I kind of said they were probably going to change it. His speed will no longer change with his forms. So he has constant speed now, no matter what, be it might, normal, or wimpy. Alright, kind of interesting, I guess. But going back to the whole linear values and constants thing, this also gives us a little bit of insight. Wolfgang's hunger and health are now at a maximum of 200 regardless of his form. And that is one heck of a change, folks, because at his mighty form, he was flirting with the 300s across the board. That's pretty nuts. And I hate to say that I told you so, but I did kind of say that they were going to normalize him a little bit. They were going to bring him down to a level playing field with all his forms and, started to look like I was kind of right. So I apologize, any Wolfgang mains out there. But in Clay's attempt to make a kind of worthless downside somewhat even more worthless, I guess, Wolfgang now takes a 25% sanity penalty from dark and shadow creatures instead of his original 10%. But if he is in range of other survivors, then that very same 10% penalty comes back into play. I don't know why I said penalty like that, but you get the picture. And yeah, like I said, this is completely worthless. But this one might not be, depending on how it could be interpreted. Deals more damage when mighty and less when wimpy, and will now also take extra damage in wimpy form. The latter makes total sense, and I actually welcome that. I kind of think that's a kind of nice change. But do they mean that he's going to be dealing even more damage when mighty after this rework? Or are they just saying the obvious that, yeah, he deals more damage when he's mighty, and it's going to be the same damage that we have gotten used to? I don't know, but I think you know what I mean, right? This can be interpreted as like, wait, he's going to be dealing more damage after this rework, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yes, finally, the creme de la creme of this rework. Them new character-specific craftable items that they alluded to earlier. Wolfgang can build a gym station structure, which allows him to work out and increase his mightiness. Players need to engage in a minigame at the gym, and the amount of mightiness gained depends on how well you do at it. Players can load the gym with different heavy items to change its effectiveness, and it consumes hunger as Wolfgang works out. Okay, I am not sure how to feel about this, folks. Of course, I will have to see the numbers for myself come next week. I just feel like it's kind of weird to be inserting something like this. It also will have to depend on how it looks, I guess. But yeah, it kind of just sounds really tedious. Let's just hope it's fast. But I guess it also depends on how well we do at it. So let's actually hope it's kind of easy too. But it also says that you can change its effectiveness. And what does that actually mean? Because there's not that many heavy items in this game. Like, are we going to have to go to the waterlogged biome to get those interesting tree nuts to change its effectiveness to something that's, like, the best? Or can we just use any suspicious marbles? Can we use statues? I have no idea. But for right now, just reading it, I'm not a fan. That said, it does look like Clay understands that a lot of people might not be a fan of it, because this next one gives us another option. Wolfgang can craft a consumable dumbbell item to restore his might on the go. It does not consume hunger and can be used as a weapon. And here is where I'm starting to feel like the deals more damage thing is actually gonna mean deal more damage than he already does. Because who just came out not too long ago? Wanda, the Time Witch, with her insanely powerful whip. So if they can bring Wolfgang up to her playing field, this is how they're gonna do it with this dumbbell item. Couple this new item with the mighty form, and I'm guessing Wolfgang will return to the top of the damage tables in this game. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, folks, so don't fret. But before we go with some final thoughts, let's just read the end here, because yes, everybody, Winter's Feast is also returning. There's gonna be a new Twitch drop, of which I can show you right now, and it's gonna be for rabbit hutches. And they will also be adding previously released skins to the Clay Rewards page in case you missed them. It's good stuff. And we'll be seeing it all next Thursday. But folks, that will do it for now. That is the official rundown of the Wolfgang rework coming next week. And as I said in our previous video, it's definitely an interesting one. We don't know the numbers, we don't know how anything is going to be breaking down, we don't know how things are going to feel in game, so we have to keep that in mind. Some of these things I am totally behind. Some of the others, I definitely have to wait and see because I don't like how they're sounding. How tedious they're sounding, to be specific. Them simplifying an already simple character is also an interesting choice. A choice that I thought they would do, but it is kind of interesting that they actually did it, if you know what I mean. Them touching on his sanity penalty is also kind of an intriguing thing because it doesn't really matter all that much. It's better to be insane in this game for the most part. And if people are playing Wolfgang and being mighty, them going insane faster and being able to kill nightmares in 3 hits in the first place is just completely blowing this out of the water, if you know what I mean. Like, that con, that negative, does not matter, so I feel like they could have done a little bit something else there. And seeing how Clay's intro on Wolfgang's rework here ends with emphasis on the Incredible Strongman, I have to believe that this dumbbell item is gonna be pretty freaking ridiculous. The thing is though, will it have spoilage like a ham bat? If it does, we'll see how quickly it does spoil. But him coming back to the throne of the highest damage character in the game only seems fitting. So that is definitely a plus. Now, how we actually get there with this whole new gym structure and having to work out and stuff might not actually be a plus, but we won't know. Folks, that will do it for us here today. Please let me know your thoughts on these official details, and we'll be seeing ya with the Wolfgang rework, Winter's Feast, new Twitch drops, and more next week. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.